Welcome to this week's IPI Wellness Wednesday. I'm going to talk about the importance of training and knowledge and reinforcing that knowledge within contact centres to allow agents to focus on providing exceptional experiences and build empathy with the customers. Because having agents who are empathetic is highly sought after in contact centres. You want them to build their listening skills, look out for key phrases, but also be sensitive to tone and behaviours by the customer. And all this takes time and experience to build, but also it takes time to actually do and enact it on the interaction. And times what we don't have in contact centres, right? We don't have enough staff, we've got queues. We need to make sure that we cover off the 10 things on our call quality scorecard or our compliance statements. So we often have to rush through the customer interaction, and it can end up being very transactional rather than empathetic. And historically in some contact centres we would have had call scripts to run through, but they can sound quite scripted and don't provide the best experience to employees to allow them to showcase their skills. Plus, with calls becoming more varied and complex, it's not always possible to have a standard call script from start to finish. What we can do though is obviously first and foremost provide training to agents so that they can provide a great experience and be effective for the business. We can concentrate on tone, how to identify vulnerable customers, ensure compliance, deal with complaints, process training. But people only retain a fraction of the training, so they need to learn on the job as well, which can be difficult and risky in a contact centre. So there's a few things we can do to provide guardrails and support them and reinforce that knowledge and make sure it stays up to date. So we can use things like ID&V to automatically identify the customer, pass on all their history, what they've been doing with us, maybe on the website, and pass that all through to the agent so that they're fully prepared to concentrate. And then when they're actually on the interaction, we can use AI to automatically surface up any knowledge to the agent based on what the customer's saying, so that can help the agent spot any phrases or topics there that are important. And it can also use the desktop to allow the agent to do step-by-step decisioning or have compliance statements when needed, so that the agent can automate as much of it as possible. And then also anything that happens on the call, any phrases from the agent side or maybe sentiment from the agent side, that can be flagged up by the same kind of AI tools for coaching, so that you're really just kind of streamlining and targeting your coaching, because training and coaching, taking people off to do that, especially if just blanket, can be expensive and is difficult to do in a contact centre. There's always other stuff to do, so we want to make sure that not only are we making sure our agents are effective, but we're doing it in a really targeted way with the least impact as possible. So hopefully that's giving you some ideas of some of the things you might want to try in your contact centre, and I'll speak to you next week.